three and perhaps four areas. The issues to be confronted are the following. First, we have to decide what the schedule is going to be for future hearings. The reason that that is an issue is we have scheduled 2 hearings in July, and frankly, I'm not sure that either one of them will be necessary, but I am reasonably certain that the one on the 9th will be a waste of time. So we have to decide how we're going to proceed from this point forward with regard to meetings. My inclination, and my colleagues will have to decide this, is to not schedule any more hearings, or at least none before the last one in July, until we know that we have in our possession the reports from all of the consultants, and we've all had a chance to read them and analyze them. I said to somebody before this meeting started that in my 40 years plus or minus on this board, I have never had to break out this baby, which is my trial bag. This hearing has forced me to do that, which suggests that there's a lot of material that has to be digested, analyzed, and we need to have time to do that. So that's an issue. The second issue which we're going to talk about is traffic. There is some on West Street, and we'll have to hear from our consultant and anybody else who wants to address the issue of traffic. We also need to retain an architect, and probably the last item, or next to the last, we will deal with, is reviewing the resumes for architectural consultants and coming to a decision so we can employ a person and get that person to work as soon as possible. Finally, we need to discuss at least briefly the question of a site view of this location. Now, it may not make any sense to do it until later in the proceeding, and I have been there, and I think so has Russell, because we've had a prior case there. But I think it probably makes sense at some point in this proceeding to schedule a view of that site, because it's what you see with your eyes sometimes is more important than what you visualize from what people tell you. So we need to look at it, I think. And we'll talk about that before we finish. Now let us lead off with the question of schedule. Gentlemen, I invite anybody's comments. As of now, we have a hearing scheduled for July 9th and July 23rd, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. I think the one on the 9th is going to be a waste of time. The one on the 23rd, we may be able to get this stuff done in time, but we have to talk about it. Gentlemen?
Well, I've read the material as we got it. I don't remember everything I read, there's so much of it. Obviously, it's a great deal of stuff to be absorbed.
I think from the things we still need to get, I think a month is probably more realistic to have it all in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we might be able to leave the hearing on the 23rd on if that is what people want to do. Because I think we have a fair shot at getting most of this stuff in advance of that, but I think we should forget about the 9th. Any contrary views?
Well, between now and then, perhaps, a site group could get a site group done, be part of the things that we really slow.
True.
Well, I need to know what you guys think we should be doing. I mean, I'll come whenever you want me to come, but I really think you're asking a lot if you think we can get much done on the 9th, given the amount of time we have. 23rd might be another story.
I think we have a consensus of the 23rd is the next meeting, but I like your idea of a site view before we get that over with.
Yeah, I don't care when we take it, but I think we need to go out and do it. What do you think, Charlie?
I'd like to get that done.
All right, well, maybe it makes sense, because when you listen to the testimony from people, it would probably be helpful to have taken a look at the site. So we will try to schedule a site view, and we can talk about that when we get through the other stuff tonight. But I think we need to pick a date, do that, get out and take a look at it, and then we'll go from there. And I think we should assume that there'll be no hearing on the 9th, but the 23rd will remain on. And hopefully by then, we'll have most of the information we've had a chance to read it, analyze it, and deal with it. Okay, the next item on our agenda is traffic. We have a traffic analysis done by the applicant, which we have all read. And we have a consultant who has provided us with his analysis of the matter, and that's Doug Prentice, and he is here. So I think what we should do is we should hear from him now. We have his written report, but many of you may not have seen it. So Doug, if you'd be kind enough, maybe we should hear about what you think about the traffic situation there.
Certainly.
I guess, yeah, I should have mentioned that.
Okay.
Given the fact that we are all television stars tonight, I think speakers other than board members should proceed to that podium so they can be properly heard over the TV.
Great. Thank you, sir. My name is Douglas Prentice. I'm a traffic transportation engineer for the firm of Faceloff and Fullentine, headquarters in Burlington, Mass. I've for 35 years in the field of traffic transportation, working around the state and parts of New England. Many of that bit of work is in doing what we call peer reviews, reviewing studies that are done by other consultants or other firms that assess and basically make recommendations on particular impacts of a project. And I kind of look at it as sort of like an extra cook in a kitchen. You know, you're basically trying to critique what's done, review it, make things done according to standards, and then make recommendations to you know, either enhance it, improve it, or find out if there's additional study necessary. So what I'll do is give you, I think, the Reader's Digest version, and in turn refer you to a couple of sections. In the traffic transportation field, there's some standard guidelines that should be followed in conducting studies. That's actually issued by the state. Those are outlined that we all use in many types of projects. They even go through the environmental impact process. So that was one of the first things I think we looked at was, did the study follow that protocol? In addition to reviewing, making sure standards are done, in all cases, we do a field reconnaissance on our own. Basically, go out and measure roadway widths, look at signing, look at street lighting, measure speeds, watch traffic, how it operates, look at amenities such as crosswalks and sidewalks, look at where some of the sensitive areas might be near a school, near a hospital. Land uses certainly play into impacts of how impacts of a project are related. So that was really done by myself itself, doing a complete field reconnaissance in the area. Then with that is when I got into the actual depth of the traffic study itself, and just looked at, did it follow protocol? And in an overview, the study that was issued to us did follow standard state protocol. So it did look at existing conditions, future conditions that are projected in the future, and then future conditions with the project. And along with that, things like speeds were measured, traffic was counted, was traffic counted in a period where it was appropriate. In this case, it was counted in January, so since January sometimes is certainly a low volume month. If you're working in Vermont and around ski area, it wouldn't be a low volume month, but in this area certainly was a low volume month, so factors